absolutely ridiculous. They'll believe anything. They'll believe anything. Maybe. It had to happen sometime. Living in Taiwan has been, I wouldn't say great, but it's been a lot better than anywhere else for the last 2 years, right?
Yeah.
The guys managed to keep it out. I think a large part of that was due to the quarantine kind of procedures. But we all knew the day would come when cases would really go up. So I think we'd have, 4,100 and something today?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that's
something.
probably more than the entire year last year, right?
Yeah, the record.
Yeah.
You break the record now.
We've really broken the record.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as we say, it had to happen, and we're now dealing with it. So Abby's done a whole lot of research for us, and she's found some awesome articles and information. So we're gonna try and discuss this and see what we think about it. And, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy that discussion. Right,
Hi.
and to say thank you to Abby, please do us a favor, click that subscribe button or help us get another subscriber from somewhere else, share the video. It costs you nothing, right? But it really could help us. So that would be great. So Abby, take it away.
Okay, I want to talk about Taiwan because, like you say, we have rising cases recently, and our government tried to do something, like take some action. So
That's a nice way of saying it. Do something, take some action. It sounds great. Tell us, what actions have they been taking?
they implement 2 regulations. Is that how to say? Or
2 regulations? Sure.
Yeah, about vaccine. One is children, 5 to 11.
6 to 11.
6 to 11 years old. Children need to take vaccine. And the second is they increase the more different area need to get booster, including gene. Okay, so I want to talk about the first topic about children.
I mean about the kids, right?
About kids, yeah.
Sure.
Because I think for me, I think that's very important.
Yeah, I agree. Doesn't it make sense?
I guess why they start talk about this. I think because recently, from April 19, there's a news. 1-2 years old kid get COVID.
Yes.
And he died. I don't know. Okay.
Yes, he died. Yeah, the one. Yeah.
Died
Sure.
after 5.
But I mean, hasn't
5 days.
COVID been extremely deadly for young children?
Yeah.
Like around the world, right? It's been like kids have been dying all over the place, haven't they? Like every country, lots of deaths of children. Like, so it makes sense. They definitely should do this.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm messing with you a little bit.
I mean that's why all of media try to put lots of focus and attention on that.
It's just, it made me think when you said it, because didn't you share a picture with me on like the messaging app the other day of like South Korea?
Yeah. I gonna.
Are you gonna get to that?
I gonna explain it to you later.
Right, yeah.
I just try to say why it makes it Taiwanese people and parents or the government so nervous right now, and they try to do something action.
Sure, so one child died and everybody's freaking out.
It's like there's a power of media. They make you like they post on you. As a parent, they will freak out. Okay, so that's one thing. I still look at this one.
Yeah.
Nope, sorry.
Not that one. You gotta go down here to that, and then all the way to the left here. Yeah.
Still look at it a little bit. Okay.
This is about the child, right? This is the 2-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is kind of disease, sepsis, brainstem, encephalitis. Yeah. And then there's some expert. They say, they talk about how talk about the vaccination for children.
Okay, what do they say about it?
Okay.
Do you need to translate it back
I
to
think
Chinese?
I need to translate it. It's not easy for me to say them. Okay, there's Taida hospitals. The doctors say children need vaccines protection. Okay, the benefits is so if you just increase the timing from the first dose to second dose, it will lower the
increase the time. What do you mean? Make it less time before you have this
a longer gap.
A longer gap.
Longer gap. Not to hurry, not to rush. So you can last the myocarditis risk, just the heart problem. So it's okay. Just make the gap longer. It's
I'm
okay.
confused because he said that this is a good idea for these people, so we should try and stop the heart problem.
I mean, what he says.
A little bit odd.
He say the doctor say we need to
give them the protection.
We need to get those kids protection. You need to vaccination. But some parents were worried about the heart problem, right? Say, don't worry. You just increase the gap.
But I'm curious why he said this is a good idea. Did he give any reasons as to why kids need this protection? Because, I was being sarcastic with you before, I haven't seen any country in the world or any data anywhere that shows that kids are suffering really badly from this. So what is his reasoning for why kids should have the vaccine?
That's true. They didn't say that,
okay.
Right?
So he's basically saying this is something good for kids, but he's not saying why.
They didn't say why.
But what he is talking about is the side effects. So, hey, this is a great idea. I'm not telling you why, but hey, we need to be careful of side effects. This doesn't sound very good. Who is this guy?
It's okay. Let me see.
Is this guy like some kind of amateur doctor or something? Right? Because the logic there doesn't really makes too much sense to me. Right?
Let me translate to English.
Okay. So this guy works at the university.
National Taiwan University Children's Hospital.
He's the director.
Yeah, he's very high manager or something.
Okay.
Right?
But I would expect somebody in that high level position to actually give some data and some facts that would make a lot of sense to explain, because I'm sure many people have seen this worldwide. There haven't been that many kids who've been hurt. It's mainly been old people. So why doesn't he give his reasoning and his logic behind this? Is my question.
Yeah, maybe he have some reasoning, but it's only the media. They probably train what they talk. They didn't show the data. I guess. I don't know. But just say, I just want to say that's the media try to give people those message.
Okay. So the media is doing a crap job. They're giving people a message without the facts behind it.
Yeah, they just don't question. They just you can see what kind of a direction the media want to lead people to.
And
right?
Have people complained about this poor messaging? Like not giving the data, not giving the facts?
No. What I heard is no. But some people they will do the do more research because they see there's some data.
You see, because I have a little slight issue with what you said before, because you kind of blamed a lot of this stuff on the media. I don't really agree too much.
Because people need to take it.
And there's been enough evidence to show that the media is doing a shit job. So if you aren't checking and you aren't asking the right questions, then you're part of the problem.
Okay.
It's for me.
Yeah. So we should question the information, right? We didn't what they say. We absorb all of them.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes. So I also heard some people. Let's see something. How to say?
Strange.
They try to find the data. I'm gonna show later. Okay. So right, there's just
what is that? Just is that they've
just
got
the government the vaccine suggestion.
Okay.
Right.
What is the suggestion?
Okay. Let's say
6 to 11-year-olds
need to take a Moderna, and you need 2 doses. The gap is 12 weeks, and the dosage is half of the adult. So this is for teenager, especially for 12 to 17. If you don't have any serious adverse effect, you need to get the booster. Okay, after you take the second dose, 5 months later, you need to get booster.
So I think only about 860 people have died of COVID in Taiwan, right? About the last time I looked. Have you seen the number? Hold on, just give it to me. Let me have a look, because it's pretty easy to check. So just do T and it'll come up. Taiwan COVID. All right, so let's have a look. 856 deaths in total. I'd love to know how many of those 856 deaths were children.
Okay,
to understand
because you
what
have
the
to
risk is that they want to give, because they're admitting here that there is a risk from the myocarditis. They've also said if you don't have serious adverse reactions. So they're admitting that there are adverse reactions.
Yeah.
And everything should be a balancing game, between like the pros and also the risks, right? A cost-benefit analysis. So they're showing people some of the negatives, but what is the need? How many kids have actually gotten sick? And if we don't have the numbers here, what about other countries? Have they taken into account the rate and the danger to kids in other countries to then give this recommendation?
Yeah, you're right. We need to check the children's data, right? But Taiwan didn't have too many data yet. So
well, then they should be looking at other similar countries, maybe like South Korea, right? Similar kind of region, similar people,
Yeah. So because our government didn't say anything about that. So I check out other
Oh, so
people.
you got it. Hey, good job.
Okay, I just say, there's not only me, but I also check this. This guy is talking about stock, but he also say something about this. They say we check Korea because South Korea now have a lot of cases, right? Lots. But you check from 0 to 9 years old, the
0.00085%. That's nothing.
Almost nothing, right?
Yeah.
So for you to make more feeling about this number, let's look other chance. When you want to...
Oh, lovely, you got that. Good job, Abby. Sweet, very
There's
nice.
also this guy say, so if you want to get lottery, your chance is like, I don't want to... I don't... So many zero.
Math was a long time ago.
Okay. So like almost impossible, right? And if you want to get lightning on the road, it's like a point.
So you have a higher chance of being struck by lightning than being hurt by COVID in that age group?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's vaccinate everyone.
So
that's ridiculous.
So it's like you get lightning is easier. Okay, maybe not easy to get bite with.
Attacked by a shark. Oh, so the chance of a shark is still
lower. So I think because you have to go into the ocean something. And they say for the quadruplets. You have 4 kids at the same time. So I mean just like it seems like really low. Just for example, like you get a lightning of that.
Sure. So this is exactly what I was asking for, right? And if you have a look at this and you do that kind of cost-benefit analysis, this makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
So firstly, I mean, who's paying for the vaccines? All the taxpayers, all of us, right? We're paying for these guys to do this. And from the looks of things, what kind of job are they doing?
I think they might know, but they just didn't tell people. I don't know why, but I think they might know this. How come?
No. Sorry. I have to stop you. There's no ways they might know. Because there are only 2 choices here. Either you know or you don't. If this is your job and you don't know, you are incompetent and you should be kicked out. And the other choice is you know and you're still doing this, which means you're worse than incompetent with these numbers and you should also be kicked out.
Okay.
To me, there's the only 2.
Okay.
Because if this is your job and you don't know this, what the fuck are you doing?
Okay, like you say.
Sorry, I'm getting excited.
Okay, there's very high chance they know it because like a normal citizen like us, we know how to find those data. How come they didn't know, right?
Yeah.
So I show this picture to my friend.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah,
because it's been going on my head this whole week. Who asks these people questions in the press conferences? And can we go? Because I'd love to ask these people some questions. I think I could do a fantastic job, better than the reporters, because I don't seem to figure this out. I just want like 10 quick questions to ask them.
Oh yeah.
Because this is bullshit. Excuse me. Sorry, this is crap.
Yeah, this is crap,
This is
right?
absolute rubbish.
The only reporter can go into the place and ask the government question.
Yeah, and do they do a decent job? I mean, who are these people?
You mean reporter?
Yeah, the reporters.
They are from some television, or some.
And have you seen them? Because I can't understand because the Chinese is too crazy. But
I didn't. At the beginning, I watched the live show.
Yeah.
Sometimes I really think they ask stupid questions.
That's what I kind of was gonna guess. So then why is this happening? Why do we have incompetent people asking other incompetent people questions, and then the rest of us have to follow their stupid regulations when they're all incompetent.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I think they don't have.
I wonder if there's not some kind of a little deal going on underneath the table where you just ask them like they do with Biden, ask him strange questions, right? Like, oh, what did you have for lunch yesterday? And he can answer, right?
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, come on, man. This is absolutely rubbish. So 0.00085% chance of death for 0 to 9. Less than getting struck by lightning. And for that, the taxpayers need to pay for all children to get vaccines. Sorry. And you know what? Because Taiwan's late to this, because we kept it out for so long, why are they not showing the benefits of being late and being able to look at all the data from all the other countries?
That's true.
We should be making in Taiwan way better decisions than any other country, because we should have the benefit of looking at all the data, the historical data that other countries didn't have before.
That's true. I think our benefits is we can refer other countries' data and do something different, right? But I think so they should say, oh, that's what other countries do. So why we are different from them? How can we do better?
Sure,
Yeah,
so it's what other countries do and we're doing that, right? I know in some countries, if you get caught stealing or doing something, they chop off your hand. Maybe we should follow other countries' certain kind of ways here and do it to these politicians and these people. This is really, really dodgy stuff, man. Hi.
Okay. Or sometimes they will talk about some other countries' data, but I don't think they really show the data. Okay.
When do these people get held accountable?
Held accountable?
Yeah, like if later on a child dies, who did these things? Who are these guys, and are they being protected? Is it because they're in the government that they can't be sued or something like that?
Okay.
Because you know what it would make sense to me is if these people are held personally responsible, I don't think they would be making these same decisions. Is there some kind of like a buffer or a barrier so that actually they make decisions but they can't be held personally responsible?
You mean like if they follow their rules and get some
if somebody
problem?
gets hurt, will these guys get in trouble, these government people?
No.
Oh, lovely, right? So you can have a job where you can do whatever you want, be as incompetent as whatever, and you get protected?
Let me show you.
What a crap system.
This one. Like a 60-year-old girl died after being vaccinated. And her mom tried to report a...
Yeah. At the second funeral on the grounds. Yeah. Cause of death is unknown. Actually, that's what they do.
Okay. For me, I'm really...
In Chinese.
It's not easy for me to...
Why don't you change it back to Chinese and then you can find it?
Not easy for me to find
You find it and then you can put it back to English afterwards.
Okay.
Oh, really? Some of this stuff is really making me feel pretty angry. Jeez. So the victim's family claimed that they registered for this person's vaccination victim relief online on December 13th last year, but they did not receive assistance from public health personnel until 8th of April this year. Why did the North City Health Bureau do nothing? Good question. In addition, although she passed away and did not receive any official death certificate, the Household Registration Office forced her mother to complete the victim's household removal work on February 7th. Otherwise, she'd be fined, and it had been compulsory on the same day. If there's no official death certificate, why should the victim be removed from the household? Why does the Household Registration Office have to do this?
So this is a question like just the mom say they want to report that there's maybe some...
A wrongful death.
Wrongful death?
Yeah, like a death that happened that shouldn't have happened, like something funny happened, right?
Yeah, they think maybe this caused from the vaccine, right? So they report, but no one to deal...
No one did anything.
Yeah, no one tried to deal with that, right?
Lovely, awesome. So not only are they incompetent people who don't give all the facts, then when something bad happens, they don't go and help the poor victims.
Yeah. Okay, I found another...
Really?
There's another comment from YouTube. but I just screamed it. So
Sure.
I try to explain you.
Sure. Translate for us, Abby. Go
Yeah,
for it.
translate. Okay. This person, the children, after get the first dose, the heart beating
Yeah.
higher than 160.
Jeez.
This is high pressure and this is heartbeat,
Okay.
and it's continue for 6 months.
This is what happened to my ex-wife. She
Really?
had the
Really
first
long
dose
time.
of the vaccine, and she said she just feel her heart beating all the time.
Okay,
And she's terrified to have the second dose. Absolutely
it's,
terrified.
it's really terrifying.
And last week she got COVID.
Oh,
Shame. Yeah, fever.
God.
Luckily she's okay. Fevers and everything, but yeah, shame.
okay. And then I think that's a mother. Okay, she called to 1922. It's a government's line for COVID. Okay, and they say,
So that's how you get hold of the incompetent people. You phone 1922.
they charge.
Yeah.
They are in charge, right?
Yeah, great. A nice useless number no one will ever need.
So they called and they said, it's okay. They won't hurt your body. And she say, okay, I want to report. It's like
Is this the person who died? The mom? Or something?
no,
It's just it's not
another
related.
another
Okay.
person. Okay, I think it is a similar case. Okay, just say she called to the government. They say, okay, there's no problem. You don't have to worry. And she said, I want to report about the vaccine adverse effect. They say, you need to ask a doctor. And okay, she went to ask doctor. Doctor say, unless your kid falling down or dead, or it doesn't counter adverse effect.
And you know what? They've done a similar thing in other countries with the VAERS system, is that people have said it's underreported. It's like only 1% get reported. Because
Yes.
if you go to the website, it's really hard to figure out how to actually do the report, and it kind of stops a lot of people from doing it. That sounds like a similar thing. It's like you want to report it, but then they make it so difficult for you to do that
Yeah.
then it might not get reported.
Like people try to kick the ball to other
Yeah.
people. They don't want to take the responsibility. Okay, so let's say even your number is weird. I mean, the heart beating is weird. But how can you prove it? It's because of the COVID. So, okay. So let's say the doctor say, or you tell the.
So basically they're saying that the people themselves must turn into doctors and be able to prove something.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So, okay, they ask the government. The government say, you ask the doctor. Doctor say, you have to ask the school. Because the school arrange your kids to take the vaccine, right? So, okay, you ask school. So the mom say, she asked school. School say, you have to ask doctor. So no one help her. And at the end, she just tried to figure out and send the mail, the letter to the government. No one reply. And they say there are so many report cases. So,
Like this.
yeah, so she's in the queue. Okay.
So there are so many people reporting adverse events,
Yeah.
they've got to put her in a queue.
Yeah.
And then they still want to give this to more kids, even though there are so many reports.
Yeah. And she say, okay, the kids, and continue. She get get the 荨麻疹. I don't know how to say 荨麻疹. It's like something skin problem.
Okay.
Okay, and it never happened before. So the kids didn't go to school now because very uncomfortable, right? And also because he couldn't get second dose and third dose. The risk is too high. So that's why he couldn't go to the school now.
Why? Because you can't have more vaccines.
Things like that, because she said because that's a reason. He couldn't, the kid couldn't get the vaccine. So he couldn't go to the school. Yeah.
You know what? This is such a good example of why government doesn't ever do a good job. It's not for profit.
Mm-hmm.
They're not accountable to anybody. So they just do this shit and they think they can get away with it. And look what people get stuck with.
Yeah.
And you see this stuff, and then you see people who trust the government. Why? Look at just some of these examples.
Okay.
They tell you, I saw the Australian Prime Minister talk about it, the same thing. Because, in Australia, they're forcing everybody to get vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw that idiot Prime Minister stand up, and he's like, if you get hurt, it was your choice.
Yeah,
yeah,
your
I'll show
choice.
you. I have that video on my phone. What a wanker. Like, it wasn't people's choice. They got forced and they said, like, we won't let you participate in society if you don't get it. Then people get it. And then if they die, it's their own fault. Because, oh, you made your choice.
And I got more like a comment because I watched this video. They talk about the vaccines adverse effects.
Yeah.
And they talk about that. So they show the doctor. Okay, this doctor. He shared some cases related to COVID. Vaccine. Huh? So we can. Okay, just
Can you click on it? Does it play?
yeah.
Does it play in here or no?
No,
No,
I
you have
need to kick.
Do it like that. Okay.
大概很多了哈，我就分享说一个高中生16岁，打了1剂疫苗以后，9月27号打了以后呢，他就手抖，头痛。
Translate a little bit. He
Like a
get
16-year-old kid and he
yeah.
He hit it like the 9th month or something. Or?
he get September
September,
27th.
听得懂
Okay, 听得懂一点点.
Just a little bit.
Okay, he get the first dose vaccine and he felt headache, hand shaking. Okay.
痛，没有办法睡觉，只好办休学这样，手抖，麻，他这个神经的症状非常明显。
Okay, because it's too head shaking too crazy. It's about something nervous. He couldn't go to school.
大家知道，新冠肺炎的致命的副作用就是心脏、心肌炎、心包炎，第二就是脑神经炎，它是2个都有。那另外
He said like the vaccine have some side effect.
Yeah.
It's about the heart problem, brain problem, and the blood clot. And this kid have the brain and heart problem.
那个就是血栓它血栓看起来是没有这2个，所以很多副作用它不是说只有选择一个器官攻击它可能每一个器官都有，它就是心悸啦心跳快的时候跳到150，慢的时候跳到40几，每次一天发作5次，一发作1个小时这样。他到了12月再来给我看，哇，看的时候真的感觉蛮严重的。后来我们就给他后面会提到的维他命 C 啊、氢气啊，吃油来这个修复神经，很快就好了。大概农历年过后，他就来复诊，觉得好像好了90%以上，大概是这样。
请问一下王医师我最近有个朋友。
So he said how to treat the kid. He gave him vitamin C and some hydrogen 氢气
Hydrogen?
And some gas treatment. How to say in English? Let me see.
Jeez. So the guy's okay now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Hydrogen.
Yeah, hydrogen.
Yeah,
Okay.
hydrogen.
Interesting.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask you if you know something. When you have a vaccine in Taiwan, like if you die the next day, does that count?
No.
Because in a lot of countries, you got to wait like 21 days.
You need to wait some days. And if you have problem, then it counts. But I don't remember how many days in Taiwan. Right?
So do you mind if I interrupt your thing and show you something quickly?
Okay.
All right. I want to show you this because this is from a lawyer in the US, and he's talking about that exact issue. So I thought it might link to this, right? So let me show you this.
All the data is in these systems. Everything is there. The queries we run, they can run. And I believe they are running them, they're just covering them up. The data is there. What they're doing is they're saying, this data doesn't exist. What they mean is the data doesn't exist because they're saying that they didn't run the query. They didn't search the database. Well, okay, so are you negligent or are you lying? Did you search it and found out something that you're covering up? Or you're not searching it? And if you're not searching it, you're not doing your job, so you should be fired. If you are, and you're covering it up, you should be in jail because you're a monster, which is what's actually happening, in my opinion. So the CMS stuff is good, and when we see, they create this thing where they say, well, we don't count anyone as vaccinated until 14 days after their full vaccination. So that means until 14 days after your second dose, it's not counted. Well, they did that because they know most reactions occur within 14 days of either your first or second dose.
So then the death wouldn't be counted.
So it doesn't count as a vaccine death or a vaccine injury. So we ran those numbers in, what was it, November, December. There were 52,000-ish just in Medicare, so 65 and up primarily. 52,000 that had died within 14 days. Now, that doesn't count people who died after 14 days, and it doesn't count people who are under 65, and that's, by the way, less than 20% of the U.S. population is over 65, so is in the Medicare database. So that number, that 52,000 within 14 days, way low. But still, 52,000 within 14 days. So even if a few of those people died by natural causes, it wasn't 52,000, okay? Not even close.
So, just in people over 65, 52,000 people died in that 2-week window. Mm-hmm. What about the people under 65, a bigger part of the population? They don't even have the numbers. Mm-hmm. There's some crazy stuff, man. There's some crazy stuff. I don't understand. And I don't understand how it continues, right? Especially like you just said, they're doing it for 6 to 11-year-olds. Why?
Yeah.
When you see some of this data, why would you do that?
Why would you still do that, right? And like after under this video, they have people see the cast, so they also share their
stories.
Experience. Yeah.
And so did you see more and more people with similar stories?
Yeah. Okay. I want to quick explain that. Okay. This person say,
and I don't think a lot of people know that, right? What I just showed in that video. That if you, and you said it's in Taiwan too, so you have that vaccine. And you know what, that other doctor, Peter McCulloch, the guy who went on Rogan, he said that 50% of the deaths happen in the first 2 days. 80% happen in the first week, which means that maybe 80% or more aren't reported.
Okay.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. And think about how they make a report position so difficult.
Yeah.
So maybe the number is higher. But I think now, like you say, people will feel it when they get hurt.
When they get hurt. Yeah, always like that, right? Once you get impacted, then now you want to talk about it. And when people try and talk to you before it's happened to you, you roll your eyes and misinformation and it's not on the news or the government said, and it happens to you. Now you need the support. Now you want to ask people for information.
Yeah. Just like Shanghai people at the beginning, they support zero strategy. Now after maybe 3 weeks, and they say they complain a lot. They feel it when they get it. Okay,
sure.
So
human nature, I think. But maybe you know what? I think that I don't want to say who or why this is happening. It's very strange. I can't.
I think it's just human nature.
No, I don't mean that. I mean the whole thing. Like the more you show me, the more I read, the more I look at this and I go, why? Something is going on. But I don't want to talk about that. But when you see this type of stuff and the people, whoever they are, who are doing this, I don't know what they think is going to happen later. Because I think later on, all that you're going to do is create massive distrust in government. Because each person who this happens to talks to their friends, and their friends say, hey, I know someone who this happened to, and this thing spreads. And I don't think all vaccines are bad. But what happens later when nobody wants to take vaccines anymore because they remember this and they say, fuck no. Where does this go long term? I just don't understand at all anything. That's the biggest thing I can say. I just do not get it.
I think it's just like some critical number. I mean, when more people, like you say, in the group, there's a small group have a different voice. When they grow up into some,
when they get older.
No. I mean, when more and more people aware of they reach some number. So
like a threshold.
Yeah, threshold, and all of a sudden, the society will start to notice and will change. Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, this is going to create a society where way more people do their own research, to look at things critically, don't just trust governments. Hopefully, but for the government themselves, why are they pushing this stuff? I don't get it. It's only going to hurt them.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they're gonna hurt them. Okay, I'm gonna show you another country's data later. Okay. So maybe just try to go through the symptom. This is some this person's friends have some problem about her period. Okay.
I heard lots of those.
And also some friends got the head skin get bloody, some blood, and some skin problem. And okay. Right. And this person, his high blood pressure higher up to 220.
Jeez.
And this one is like people in Thailand. He get 1 BNT. He go to emergency hospital for emergency 4 times, and the heartbeat is very. Her heart is very. His heart is very painful and couldn't breathe. Now, they couldn't find out any reason of it, but he think it's because the vaccine. But anyway, he couldn't work now. All right. So that's the side effect of lost people. And back to the data, because I show this
The Korea one, yeah.
Korea one to my friend, right? They asked me, okay, since the rate is so lower, how about 分母? How many kids get are comfort cases, right? So I check the website. I go to the South Korea Healthy Department. I check the website. That's
18
deaths for this is a confirmed cases. I say 2 million.
Okay, so they how many cases?
2 million.
Yeah, to 2 million. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like
So 2 million. No, 2 million people didn't die. So there are 2 million cases in total.
2 million. Yeah,
No.
for this age group.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, so they had. So really, 2 million kids got COVID in Korea.
South Korea.
Wow. Okay.
And
only 18 died.
18 died.
And so the number is that same number you showed from before.
Yeah. It's a little bit different because it's different date.
Okay, but it's close. It looks pretty similar.
Yes. This is from
0008, 0008. Yeah, it's just the
A5, A5 at 70.
That's not
This
even
at 7 at 23rd. And okay, that's from Italy. Okay. The cases is also low. Only 24 kids died.
And how do you know how many got it in that age group there, like with the Korea one?
No, I couldn't find it yet.
Okay.
Just say.
Sure. But I mean, 24.
Just it's compared to other groups, it's very, very low.
Jeez.
And okay, so let's see this one.
I think that you need to get a job at the at the Taiwan CDC.
I can help
You
them.
can do a better job than they're doing, right?
Okay.
I'll be your advisor.
Okay, and I go check Taiwan's data, but we don't have. This is about because lots of parents think, oh, I don't want to take a risk. Maybe I should get vaccine, right? It's better than
You
nothing.
mean get the vaccine for them or for their kids?
For the kids.
For the kids, right?
Yeah, some people worry about it because of news. The
Yes,
2-year
yes.
kids died. So I check it. That is from Taiwanese government. It's It's April 13. It's okay. I say how many doses they take. There's 2 million doses, but I don't know how many.
Under 18. Okay.
Under 18. Okay, but I don't know how many people, because maybe some people get 2 doses, maybe some people get 1 dose.
Sure. And
So
Taiwan really, from what I've searched, you don't find a lot of information. Nothing like that England information I showed you before.
I think maybe because our cases is not enough. I don't know.
Maybe.
And
It's very hard to search for information. I try. It's like, like just to find the death from the vaccine. That one page I always used to look at. It keeps moving. I can't find it. They keep changing the website.
Yeah, they're changing the. And at the time, I found it like the kids under 18 years old. They are they get 2 million
doses,
2 million
right?
doses, and they are 1,737 cases
Really?
have severe adverse effect.
Oh, it's not cases of the virus.
No, it's a
Okay.
vaccine.
Okay.
They get vaccine. They have some
Really, 1,737 people had severe side effects.
yeah. Okay, just for example, I just think
And in total, 850 people have died. So, like half that number of total deaths.
so I calculate for because 1,737
What's the 5?
I'm not sure.
Maybe deaths. Maybe 5 people died.
I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Okay. So death is four people deaths. Okay. This group is a serious adverse effect. This one they is not serious. Okay. So I use 1,737 minus 888. Okay. I just calculate serious problem. So the rate is 0.038. According to Korean, if you get COVID, you die, it's this rate. If you in Taiwan,
So it's way more dangerous to give for the vaccine for your numbers there compared to
I
Korean.
just want to say, maybe get vaccine is not really safe. I'm not sure, but you should watch.
I've
and
seen
see.
similar figures about the Pfizer numbers where they show that like to save one kid you need to hurt this many, and then the number also was like strange, like to save one you need to hurt more than one,
No,
which doesn't
I
make
see.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and something weird thing happened. Right, I found this at April 13, but when I go back to the same website,
right?
disappeared. Yeah. Okay, I didn't have any. I couldn't. I still searching for it.
I can't believe it. It just looks like the same stuff we saw happening in other countries is happening here too, and much later on.
It still happened, right?
I don't get it.
I don't get it. I
don't
just thought,
understand.
what is happen now? Okay. So another topic I'm going to talk about is gene. They have the booster vaccine mandate start from April 22nd, right? And included gene.
It was yesterday.
Yeah. So when they have
Don't you think it's a little bit strange? One of the things to help you stay healthy is exercise, but you're not allowed to exercise. Fucking
it's so weird. So
bunch of monkeys.
some people try to complain this one. This is how say he's an actor before, but now he's doing some like 健美比赛
Celebrate.
not celebrate.
In the gym,
He's doing
weightlifting.
yeah, weightlifting competition maybe.
Ah.
Oh no, sorry, you can cut this part. Okay.
Sure, go keep going. Yeah.
No, I just show you that.
So they're doing weightlifting. Is even that buff dude over there? Is that him?
Yeah, this guy.
Ah.
Okay, he's like join some competition
Okay.
for that. Okay, I want to talk about what he say. He say, why gym? Why you think gym is so dangerous? Is a metro that's danger? Is a bus seat that's dangerous than the gym? Why you don't put the booster mandate on public transportation?
Sure.
If you have this logic, why you don't put
Sure. What
this
about
one?
restaurants?
Yeah, what about restaurant? Why you can everyone take off the mask and eat, but in gym you don't allow them,
Do you
right?
know why? Do you know this word coercion?
Coercion, 强迫,
That's
控
why.
制,
It's got
Control.
fuck all to do with what they're saying. It's their way to push people to get vaccinated. I also heard somebody said that one of these guys said the other day they should relax the quarantine restrictions just for the vaccinated people. None of this makes any logical sense except that it's... And he actually said it. They said, well, why? He said, because that will push people to get vaccinated. Well, since when is the government's job to push you to do stuff they want you to do? What happened to informed consent? This is the information, both sides of it, you make your choice.
Yeah, why you couldn't make your choice,
No.
right?
And then the restrictions they do make are inconsistent, don't make any logical sense for how they're implemented to people, and they want us to trust them.
Yeah.
Who gives them that right? That's what I'm pissed off about. Who gives anybody that kind of right? I understand if you have good logic and someone asks you the question, you say, listen, here's the logic. If I can see the logic, I might not agree with it, but I could still then accept it. But there's no logic.
Yeah, and this guy, he questioned the government. He have some, I think it's a logic question. He say, okay, so the vaccine, you couldn't stop the virus, right? So it's a chance. So some people, they have vaccine, they have side effect on him or his friends. They even get the ECMO, you mean like heart problem, too serious. They have to install some equipment in that.
Pacemaker, probably.
So there's a chance you get vaccine, you may get COVID. You get vaccine, you may have a side effect. So they all have
The cost benefit analysis.
Yeah. You
right?
should let people to choose, right? If you want to force people, you have to make 100% sure, right? So
Exactly.
So he asked, why you have to force us? If it's like a gambling, we gamble as our freedom will. Why you push us? Okay, so I think it makes logic. And there's another guy also famous. It's called 馆长.
The guy who owns the gym.
Yeah, like a gangster, you know that one?
I've just heard there's a guy who owns the gym.
Yeah, he also questioned about it. So why you think going to the gym is easy to get vaccine than go to a restaurant?
You mean he used to get sick? You mean get COVID?
Yeah, COVID. Yeah, okay. But after they complain about this, I think the government didn't reply him.
Oh, of course not, right?
Of course
They
not.
didn't reply to the woman whose daughter died. Why are they going to reply to the dude who runs the gym?
Even lots of media report this guy's comment, right? But I have to say, because this guy, he has his job to do or his competition, so he still get booster after. So anyway, just and the gym right now.
So that is an example of somebody doing something against their will, right? Something he did not want to do, but he's being forced to do it. So I have the other question: is everybody I know always talks about in Taiwan? We look at China. Look how bad China is. What's the fucking difference? It's the same kind of thing, forcing people to do stuff that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you're taking something away from them. This guy can't go and do his competitions and what he wants to do. Where's the freedom?
Yeah.
This is not freedom.
They say he I think after he comment this, some people scold him. They say, oh, you need to be a good citizen to the society. Anyway, you have a positive or negative.
So what does it mean to be a good citizen?
Like you
just do what you're told.
Like you just why you couldn't just a bad follow the rule is protect people, right? Something like that.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. How does it protect people?
Yeah.
I know it's not you saying it, but what's the logic? How does it protect anybody else?
Okay, I don't know their logic. Yeah, because I just
they don't have any.
They're just a random comment on his.
Well, you see, but that's the problem with the internet. Do you know that they've worked it out? It's apparently 1% of people comment. It's a bunch of often crazy people who do comment, who have some strange ideas with no logic to back it up, and somehow their opinions now, because of the internet, get taken seriously. In the past, those people would have been on the side of society. They'd say their opinions and everybody would roll their eyes and just laugh at them. And now, because of the internet, they get taken seriously.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Sorry. And I think he's forced. Maybe he goes to the hospital and sit down by himself, right? No one like a coughing. But I think it's a part of a force because you don't want to lose your career.
It's coercion. What's that word in Chinese?
Yeah.
I just showed you. What's that word?
I know coercion. It's like a force control.
Yeah, how do you say it in Chinese again?
Again.
Yeah, I'll find it for you. Hold on. Coercion.
It's a 强迫.
Yeah.
强迫means force.
Yeah, but coerce is
Not really.
Yeah. See, the government's nice, right? They think they're smart. They can say, no, we don't force everybody. But of course you do, because if you say to someone, you can't go to the gym, you can't be healthy, you can't go to work, you can't do whatever, unless you have the vaccine, that's the same thing as forcing.
This is another way of
forcing. It's just a coward's way of doing it.
They couldn't say it louder. So I think also because he want to, okay, what he says like, okay, I don't want to let the policy and the vaccine to ruin my, kind of his competition.
Yeah, but you know what, right? He doesn't look like a young guy. I mean, also
40 something,
and like that old, right? He doesn't look. He's in the middle. What happens if he has a myocarditis problem? Because it's almost like 770 athletes have had myocarditis, professionals. So what happens if he now, hopefully not, that happens to him? He'll never be able to do that again because your heart, it looks like it's happening to athletes because their hearts beat pretty fast. And I'm guessing that for this guy, that's true too. What happens if he can never do it again?
That's another problem.
But my problem is also with him because why did he let them do it? Why? Because you know what the thing is, right? Imagine if everybody stood up and said, no, this would end today. Right?
I think because
yeah, but that's where your priority lies. So what? You're saying that your bodybuilding competition is more important than your life. At some point, people got to take a stand. And if you don't take a stand, then why should anybody else help you and take a stand for you and support you? Why are you sitting here with a picture saying, oh, poor me, look, I had this vaccine and I didn't want to? Why didn't you take a stand? I hear this from people all the time. Oh, my company says that I can't visit a client if I don't have the vaccine. Okay, so what's more important to you? Your health, your future, or your job? Are there any other jobs? And if everybody just keeps doing the same thing, nothing will change. But imagine if 10 people in one company said, hell no. What would the company do? They're going to lose 10 people?
Yeah.
Power in numbers.
I guess because I think this guy...
I know it sounds harsh. I know. I feel bad for this guy. But at what point do you take that sacrifice? And do you want other people to sacrifice? Probably. So when are people going to stand up? Because you know what? I wouldn't do this. Honestly, I'd rather say fuck it.
I think this guy have some logic. You can see what he talked before he asked the question. But I think maybe he didn't get enough information. So it didn't. So when you wear the option.
Well, it looks like he's going through this, right? Like it's a difficult situation.
Yeah.
So not having information is not an excuse for me.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't want to be harsh to this guy, but if you're going through this and going through it enough to post your story and everything, why aren't you spending a few hours doing research like you've just done? Everything you've just shown us, why can't he find that same stuff? And he's a famous guy?
Yeah.
So you're in the public spotlight. People are looking up to you because you have this position of kind of power. And then what example are you setting for everybody? Well, eventually I just gave up. Why should I care? I do, but why should I? If you're not willing to stand up. Because what happens if the next person follows you because you're in the spotlight and gets hurt? If you're not willing to stand up, why should anybody else? Why are you posting if you're not willing to stand up? Sorry, I don't... I feel bad for the guy, but...
I just think he gave up at the end.
Okay, so he's setting the example of giving up. Then why are you posting? If you give up, don't post.
I just think he want to... like you say, so many people against him because of the comment he remained before. this is like a not. I mean, it's like the internet comment. So
Yeah, well, that's not worth it.
So I think he took. I guess I don't know what he think. I just think he make it to make to how to say, to care about those comments. Maybe.
Sure.
So that's why he gonna publish this picture to those people. Hey, look, I still do that. Don't complain. I guess. That's
Okay.
what my feeling.
Well,
I
sorry,
guess.
no respect for that.
So, okay, this is about Jin. And also at the same time, actually Warjin, the very big franchise Jin, also complain with the government. They say, hey, why you put this this kind of rule? But anyway, after the government, the document sent to them, they still have to get this announcement. Like they still have, they didn't cross the Jin. They need to earn money. So, okay, we follow the company. Well, we follow the government. Okay, there's by the way, there's a weird thing I gonna talk. Just let's start this policy from Friday, April 22nd.
Do you know one of my problems with this whole thing?
Yeah.
Do you know how I used to show off to people about living in Taiwan? I used to. I'll never do it again.
Okay.
After this. Sorry, I thought
different.
I thought it was different, right? I also saw the advertising that Taiwan is different to China. Taiwan is this democracy. Taiwan is this free place. But as soon as it got tested, what did they do?
Yeah.
What did they do? Shocking. So now there's no showing off from me about living here anymore. And I'm really sad to say that because I do love Taiwan. I love the people. That's why I've stayed here for so long. But you know, the thing is, it's like when there was no stress before, now you see the stress and then you see the reaction to it.
That's why, that's Gu Ai, the #1 podcast. He said everyone, not everyone, some people in Taiwan, they say their thinking is like a
The other way, yeah.
linked to right, conservative. But what they do when the situation happens, their action is like left. They look
I don't
like
think that this is, to be honest with you, so much right versus left. This is authoritarian.
not to say right or left. They just they are thinking. They say, oh, we need freedom. We have we need have a freedom speech. We have to respect each other. We have to we don't want the government or authority control us too much, right? But when something happens like a virus, they say, oh, government, help me. Government, you have to do this. You have to do that. So what they action is another way. So what they...
So maybe it's left authoritarianism in a way.
It's like, similar like what China did. Like ask you, government, you have to take a responsibility for us.
Yeah.
Kind of like a thing.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. It's hard, right? I mean, it's like if people are not going to fight for themselves, how do you expect other people to fight? If people want this to end, but they don't want to stand up and say anything, how will it ever change?
Yeah.
Like these guys, they need to be held accountable. The numbers that you've shown me today have upset me in a big way.
Well,
Because, as we said, these guys aren't being held accountable. All right? So they're making decisions. The logic isn't there. It doesn't look like they're sharing the logic. They've got the benefit of all the experience from all the other countries, but they're not even using that information in a good way to make better decisions. And everybody can point out the stuff. And then you say to me that there's a woman whose daughter died and they're not getting back to her and making her run around in circles. This must be the worst time in that poor woman's life.
yeah.
The worst time. No parent wants their child to die. And in this moment of need, where are these people? Where is the accountability?
Yeah.
Where is the stuff to say, hey, show us your reasoning. Show us why you made the decisions you made, and you stand by your decisions. And if you made a stupid decision, you should be held accountable and you should go to jail. Where is that? That's my question. Why are the people not holding them accountable?
Yeah, that's true. If the government make a wrong decision and make people die,
They should be held accountable. Should
I
put
mean,
those
they
people in
don't have-
jail.
yeah, they don't have taken any responsibility. Huh?
I don't know. I don't see
They just-
anybody taking responsibility. So you're just saying that people are not taking personal responsibility. They're putting it onto the government. And then the government people aren't taking responsibility and seem to be making a whole lot of stupid decisions and coercing the people.
Yeah.
So it's just chasing around in circles, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And they have the benefit of, because we're late. So there's so many countries where this type of stuff has happened. There's absolutely no excuse for this. And the people too also must be held accountable, because there is enough information from around the world, because we find it. And if we can find it, how come other people can't find it?
Yeah, we just.
And then why are they not holding the government accountable? This is the problem when it comes with I think with democracy and stuff. Democracy works well when the people watch the leaders and question the leaders and question the authority and say, we are giving you the responsibility. We vote for you guys. We give you this power. But then they just leave it. You've got to make sure that they're using that power well, or vote those fucking people out. Because otherwise, how can you complain about bad government? Not you personally. I mean, how can people complain if you're not doing something? If you just give away your responsibility, well, I voted. Fucking idiot can vote, man. This is putting a cross on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
But if you want the country to be like you want it, you have to participate. You have to get in the process. You have to see the decisions. And when you see something's not right, make a noise.
Yeah.
Not the 1% of people who bloody comment on the internet. Normal, regular people. Phone the government. Do something. Because if the government heard the voice, if 1 million people phoned, they would change just like that. But they aren't phoning. They leave it to someone else to do. And then they sit back and want to complain and put a picture of their vaccine that they took. Sorry, man. No. It's every single part of this thing is messed up.
Oh, that's true.
Sorry, I'm getting too excited here.
Just yeah. Like you say, it's like it's like everyone just like okay. So they don't make any noise. So that's why government say, I don't say anything,
Exactly.
but you seems okay. So
Exactly. Because if everybody stood up, it would end. Because we put those people, well, not me, I don't vote here, but you guys, you put them there. So what, we put them there and then just leave them to do whatever they want to do? No. But that's the point. Everybody's so distracted. They're playing with these things all the time and watching Netflix all the time, not researching, not learning, and then not taking part. And it's the problem with democracy. It's the problem. It's dependent on the level of how much people are willing to be involved in the system. And if you do that, it can work well. But when you abdicate your responsibility, and then what happens? And you know what? The government people know that this happens, and they take advantage of that situation. And they know that no one's going to say anything. No one's going to hold them accountable. And that's why they get enabled to behave like this. If they make laws that are not logical, people should be shouting, saying, what are you doing? Why is this? We are the ones who put you here. Explain why you're doing this. And if you don't have good logic, stop doing it. But no one's doing that. And then, as you said, it's because of fear. That's not a good enough excuse. Especially this far into this thing. I understand the fear at the beginning. Not now.
So that's why now I see, at least now I see more and more people start to talk about this, or they make some noise. So at least recently I found some YouTube. There's it's a famous YouTube channel, and he tried to interview the people who in the protest against vaccine, and they make some logic, very I think a short, clear logic. So this is a good video, but when I see this one, I have one question. They make this protest twice, but I didn't see anything on the news.
I heard about a few people who were doing this not far away from here.
Yeah.
And they got arrested.
Eh?
Yeah, it was a group of people a while ago, somebody told me, and that they were walking around and handing out pieces of paper, trying to show people stuff about vaccines and things. And
really?
I think they got arrested. It was a while ago, a few months back.
Okay.
Yeah, I asked the person to send me the the article, but it never happened. So I can't say it's 100% true, but
Okay. But okay, at least I want to show like there's some voice.
sure. But you see, but this is the thing, right? It's abdicating your responsibility all the time. This is the big problem. So, if you want to have kids and then leave your kids with someone else that you don't know that doesn't share your values to look after your kids all day for you, and then you probably pay them the minimum that you're going to pay, what do you think's going to happen to those kids?
Yeah.
If you're going to it's just a different example, right? But it's all the same thing. It's like you're giving other people the responsibility to educate your kids, teach values to your kids.
Yeah.
If you're acting like this, it's the same behavior. It's like, oh, well, the government should do it.
You want to.
This is the opposite of personal responsibility. And you know what? If you take personal responsibility, you might earn a little bit less money because you'll be using your time doing those things. And maybe you won't have that fancier car a little bit less because you'll be putting your energy into those things and taking that responsibility and acting like, a responsible human being. But when you give other people the responsibility to do all these things for you, then what's going to happen? Then you can see what happens.
I see.
How can you look at this thing and say, hey, they're going to inject my kid without looking and reading and finding out all these things and choosing and saying, no, I see something a bit strange. That's not happening to my kid. Where is that kind of attitude? Gone. So, I don't know. This is a new pandemic. Pandemic of people not taking responsibility for themselves.
Yeah.
How many people send their kids to school? How many people go and check what that school's teaching? How many? How many people take an interest in figuring out what their kids are learning? I don't see it. I used to work in the schools. I didn't see it at all.
And I think if they think if those parents think their kids need to be it's better. I don't know. They will take the responsibility to the teacher. I want my kids do this, do that, have behavior good.
That's what I'm saying. Giving the responsibility to others.
Yeah.
And you know what? I understand if you want to give some responsibility to some other person, but then surely you should check that other person and make sure that you agree with that person. You say, right, well, I agree with that person, so I'm okay with them doing that. But they don't. They just send them off. So this is another example. Thank you for showing me all this, but it really, really upset me, man.
Okay.
Is that all, or is there anything else?
Okay, just another way. Right. And the quick last one is a resource. Because the guy interviewed a professor in the Taiwan University, and this professor also make another video. Okay, talk about the vaccines, some side effect, and probably what she says like what we talked before, but in Chinese. Okay, she shows some example like some misunderstanding in the public, and she used some data to prove it. Why?
Such as
using vaccine can lower the spread. It's not true because you can see Israel, Australia, those countries, they have really high vaccine, but they still spread a lot.
Oh, so you mean it in that way? Okay,
the kind of way.
Okay.
And the second is some people think it can lower the symptoms. Okay, but it's not true because lots of serious symptoms they didn't encounter COVID. So how we don't have any data. How can you make this conclusion?
And
right?
also, if you go back to before the vaccines, when there was like Delta and stuff, there were many people who had low symptoms. So my question is, if you have low symptoms today when you're vaccinated, how do you know it's because you're vaccinated? How do you know that if you hadn't had the vaccine, you wouldn't have had low symptoms as well? How? There is no way to know. How many people are asymptomatic, mild symptoms? It actually just seems like a lucky draw, right? Some people seem to be getting it. There seems to be no pattern at all to it.
Like how come those media have this conclusion because I don't see any data can prove it. That's also her explanation. Okay, and also about some. Right, and she also explained about how suspicious elements in vaccine.
Okay.
Maybe should a little bit. Maybe you heard it before.
You speak in English or in Chinese?
No.
大家好，我是吕丹怡博士。身为一个教育工作者，秉着知识分子的良知，一个食品科学家和一位自然疗法医师的身份，我今天站出来，想要告诉各位我过去的学思历程，看到、经历到的，我要分享的是真实的。所以在此，我要特地重申，我们绝对要研发时间。
They say, maybe we just talked it before. I just want to.
Sure.
Quick.
Yeah, but this is the point. This is exactly the point. I'm glad you showed me this. This is a professor, someone who's highly educated, telling stuff to the people that we already knew, which means it's out there. If you want to find it, you can find it. If you haven't found it, it's because you haven't been looking. That's the truth. And if everybody took personal responsibility, if everybody researched, found stuff out, picked up the phone, called the government, complained when they had to, none of this would happen. That's the truth. Simple as that.
Okay.
Because it is out there. If it wasn't out there, we wouldn't already know most of this. You would say, oh, this is the stuff you've already been talking about. Right?
Yeah.
But if all you do is worry about entertainment or clothes or watching Netflix or all that kind of, or making money. I mean, I understand if you're struggling and you need to make money, that's fine. But if you're just trying to get richer and you're not spending some time, time is currency.
Yeah.
And if you're not spending it at least on figuring the stuff out, how can you complain? There's no personal responsibility. If you want it, it's there. Which means if you don't find it, you're not looking. And you know what? I really like that way of thinking about life in general. You got to accept the responsibility for stuff because then you have the ability to change it. But if it's always someone else doing something, you can change other people. You have to accept the responsibility for yourself, and then you can have the power to make the change happen. And if everybody did that, we wouldn't have a problem. So, anyway. So, is that all of this?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You know what? It's really hard for me to see people's opinions and what's being said because it's all in Chinese. You know, it's kind of like living here. People don't really realize. It's like when I ride my scooter, I look at a lot of shops. I have no idea what they sell. It's like living in a different universe. There's so many things that happen every day that I just like.
Anyway, you survive.
It's like being an illiterate person. You know, illiterate is like someone who can't read and write. Can you imagine being someone like that?
Okay.
As you walk around every day, there must be so many things that you just accept. Like I look at my dogs as well. You know, I have 2 little dogs, and there must be so many things in their lives that they just have to accept that they'll never understand.
They never understand what you are talking about.
Well, it's just what I'm talking about, but also they like see the refrigerator, or they hear a ding, a noise, a microwave. They must say, oh, there's that noise again. I have no idea what it is, but it's that noise, or it's that thing.
Life experience.
Yeah, so it's kind of like if you don't have that understanding, right? So living here, there's so many things I never understand that I want to understand. But the biggest one is this, which is, what do people think? What are people talking about? What's the current news? I very seldom get enough of that. So I really appreciate that one today. Because you're kind of giving me a little bit of a window into what's going on and people's opinions. And actually, in a way, it's nice to see that there are some people standing up and making a noise. And
yeah.
So really, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
More.
Yeah. So if anybody else appreciates what Abby's doing and what we're doing, please, it costs you nothing. It's a finger push or it's a share. help us get a few more subscribers. We get some more subscribers. One day we monetize this channel. We can do better work, right? Because at the moment we're doing our regular jobs. This is our spare project. We make no money from doing this at all. This is purely just our way of showing our love to the world. But it would be lovely if we could take it to another level, right?
Yeah.
So help us out if you can. That would be great.
Yeah. Thank you.
So should we move to the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
I need the toilet. Right. Okay.
Yeah,
So we'll be
me
back
too.
soon.